Good evening, fight fans. This is Chris Guzman with your weekly Thursday night injection of boxing talk, updates and all-out arguments. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. It is Thursday night, April the 2nd, 2009. We are broadcasting live, as usual, from Leg Up Production Studios, Hobart, Indiana, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. Nestor Garza Romero right here on my left. Nestor, what is going on in your world, man?
Man, it was a good month. The economy took an uptick. We had some business, made some money, had some really good fights this past weekend, too. It was a good weekend for fights. I really enjoyed it. And other than that, it was nice. We spent a lovely time with a young lady for her birthday.
Yeah,
we all got a bit schnockered, but it was good.
Pretty legendary night there.
Yes, it was.
And we'll split up Popinski Kegamine on my right. Mo, what's going on with you, man?
Not much. I had a good time at the 8-count show this weekend. Took some pictures at the UIC Pavilion, a great place for them to have a show out there. Well lit, so it was nice for taking pictures. And
a photographer's going to talk about the lighting situation.
And not really only that, there were a bunch of good fights. I mean,
outstanding fights.
Rita Figueroa came back.
Ajay Fonfara came back. He's fighting.
Henry
Coyle. Henry Coyle brought. I mean, we're going to talk about this in its entirety, but I just did the write up earlier today. Tried to do the write up much earlier in the week, but we had some problems with the website.
We had some problems, and Tim's actually corrected that, and we got a whole new news section there at the bottom of the Bolo Punch Boxing Hour webpage.
10 times better than it did anyway.
And it's a lot easier for us to actually, and a lot more functions for us to put stuff up.
Absolutely.
I'm
very, very proud of it.
But I'm excited on a couple fights at the end of this month coming up. Of course, the 1 in a million fight that we've been talking about here coming up between Mary McGee and what's the girl? Christy Fulmer. And then that's one night after the ESPN is coming to Chicago for ESPN2's Friday Night Fights.
Antonio Escalante is going to be taking on Gary Stark Jr. That's going to be ESPN2 Friday Night Fights from Chicago.
Yeah, it's at the same venue we were just at. They were kind of setting up the venue to see how it all worked out for them. Had a good showing out there.
3,100 people.
Yeah, it's pretty well filled up for a boxing event. I'm guessing there's going to be even more for the Friday Night Fights event. I just found out at the event that it was going to be Friday Night Fights. I didn't know that was going to happen prior to that event. I'm excited to get Friday Night Fights back.
Oh man, we met them before, but
what did we say?
Be all the sweeter in the new venue.
What did we say earlier? This was a divorce weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a divorce weekend because we're going to be
24th and 25th are those two fights.
We're going to be covering a lot of stuff that week. So.
But Tim, I'm sure Tim's excited, not just about some news that I heard from Bob Papa, actually, or not Bob Papa. What's the announcer's name? Joe Papa, isn't that it?
The
boxing announcer.
Bob Papa.
Bob Papa. He actually announced about Jay Cutler getting traded to the Chicago Bears.
So yeah, that's actually really big news. Timmy, the producer, Patterson, how the hell are you? And how can our listeners get in touch tonight?
Man, I am doing great, man. The Bears made some moves today. I know this ain't a boxing show, but they got Cutler.
No, it is a boxing show.
Orlando Pace, but hey, we talk other stuff other than boxing.
Especially in the intros.
I do want to let me go here, man. I do want to say happy birthday out there. Yesterday's birthday was little Holmes, little Paul Driscoll out there. I want to say happy birthday to him. And you can reach us on the hotline 219-743-9743. Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running. Keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour. But the best way to reach us is in the chat room via Ustream.tv.
Yes. plenty to talk about this evening. Our topic a little bit later on will involve a little bit of the talk of the chemical composition of what was found in Antonio Margarito's hand wraps. They took it to a top law enforcement agency, and
basically it was quickcrete.
Damn if it wasn't absolute plaster of Paris found inside there. It was not an accident. It's most definitely very, very blatant. And all of our opinions will be measured and recorded.
He laid his hand wraps on the table, and then somebody was doing something with a brick and mortar.
The drywall guy.
Damn those construction guys.
He was doing.
He was recreating that union guy was taking a break.
Recreating the very sexy scene from Ghost.
Yeah.
With the wraps on. It's a damn thing. But We'll be talking about that about 8:30, about 20, 25 minutes from now.
How long his suspension is and what it's going to take for him to get reinstated.
It's not going to be pretty.
A miracle.
It's not going to be pretty. Also, we'll be talking a little bit later on about the posthumous pardon. Say that once. The posthumous pardon that's going to be sought for Hall of Famer Jack Johnson, the first African American to ever hold the title of heavyweight championship of the world. Our very own John McCain is the one heading.
Well, he's big into boxing.
Well, he's been looking for reform for 10 years now with the Muhammad Ali bill to try and get some sort of national oversight committee, a national committee to make sure that these fighters are taken care of.
Well, he's also been trying to get one sanctioning body as well.
Kind of what I just said.
Saying ain't so.
Kind of what I just yeah.
Well, he's talking about not only the Ali bill was more to protect the fighters. And
well, yes, the
Then
Ali
he-
bill is about making sure they have pensions and that they're taken care of as fighters.
And now
And
he's talking about trying to make one like WBC be the only sanctioning body.
Very
so
much
there would
so.
only be one belt.
I'm not sure he would choose the WBC.
But I mean,
But I got you. No. I know
that was just an example.
Yes. One sanctioning body. I mean, it probably wouldn't even be the Ring Magazine belt because that's owned by a fighter. They'd probably have to make something completely new.
Yeah.
Another belt?
And I am. You know what? I'll take another belt all day long.
As long as it's the unanimous
if
belt.
it negates every other belt,
Yeah.
you better believe I will.
And it's kind of interesting
the
because
TV belt and the Intercontinental
the
title.
TV title.
as much as all the fans want that, a lot of the fighters don't because they say it actually breeds more corruption because of the ability for one sanctioning body to control.
Now you just
the
have
rank.
one guy that you have to
Yeah.
shove money in his pocket versus lots of guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
All we have to do,
Rod
Hamill, is
Blagojevich.
find some honest people.
Rod,
There won't be any problem.
Rod Blagojevich for commissioner.
They'll just ride on in on their unicorns, and they'll save the whole day. They'll touch their
They'll
sword
go right
into
over
the
the
magic.
rainbow.
They'll touch their magic sword into the magical water, and everything will be fine. And then we'll all sing.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya,
and there'll be
and
one
we'll
champion.
happy,
And I'll drink my beer.
Well, Johnny Tapia, Mi Vida Loca, Johnny Tapia, 5-time world champion, obviously is going to go straight into the Boxing Hall of Fame as soon as he retires and waits 5 years. But he is going to be on VH1's reality show called Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
This is great.
Because
this is exactly what boxing
Are
needs.
you kidding?
This is
me?
exactly. He's in training for a May 16th comeback fight, most likely to take place in New Mexico. This is the one man where every time he fights, it's called a comeback because after he fights, he snorts a bag of crack and
retires?
And then they find him on the floor somewhere. It takes him months to get back on track, gets back in the gym, and he's so naturally gifted and talented that he is able to get right back in the ring and beat somebody. And these aren't slugs.
And that's just enough money for him to get the next score, and then he goes
yeah,
right back
to
to
get another nice fresh bag of crack. So
and he goes right back in. I mean, if I'm going to watch a reality show about boxing, I would hope it would be The Contender or something of that nature, not a
Yeah.
rehab show.
Yeah.
yeah, if I want to watch
Celebrity
boxers do
rehab.
things, it's not going to be on Dr. Drew. Although I do love that show, Love Line. How we doing, Timmy?
Is that on Showtime late at night or Cinemax?
Well, we're going to take our first break of the night. We're going to come right back talking about Big Vlad Klitschko and David the Haymaker Hay have finally struck a deal. It's more in concept. It hasn't been signed yet, but there is a deal on the table that they are both assuming that the other one is going to agree to. So it's an agreement in concept. It's not signed yet, but we're going to get these two to fight. And we're going to talk about what several other fighters have been weighing in on this, on whether Hay has a chance at all. So we'll take our first break of the night. We'll be right back. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. www.bolopunchboxinghour.com, streaming to you live as always on Ustream.tv.